Two Beards Reviews reviewing Welcome to Wrexham Season 2, Up the Town, the finale. Let's go! Ooh, g'day, Beard Brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and all-round legends. Welcome to our review episode of the final episode of Season 2 called Up the Town. Welcome to Wrexham. And we've finally done it. We're here. We've on the last episode, and well, stay tuned to the end of this episode if you want to see what we reviewed it, because I just got to say, okay, we're going to start out this episode. I'm your host, Rousey. That is Adrian, mate. How you going today?
Going well, mate. I'm a bit of an emotional wreck after that one. And just for the listeners out there, both Rouse and I have just finished watching the episode. So it's quite raw.
It is. And brought back a lot of memories. And I just got to say, what a fantastic episode. It literally brought every story that we've witnessed over this season together. So every episode, every story, from all the way from Millie to Marks to Paul Mullen and his kid, every episode meant something in this final episode. It brought it all together.
So
And
good.
oh wow.
It honestly, man, like you couldn't have said it any better. It surmised the season perfectly. It's kind of what I mentioned I wanted in the Notts County episode, in the way that it was edited. It was exactly what I was after. And I mean, I could go into detail about I wanted it to never end. And I think that that's okay. I think that means it's a good thing. I think it's been brought into our attention in the comments section, actually, that, we do bring up that we wish it was longer. We wish it was longer. But honestly, I wish this episode was like feature length. I wish 38 minutes just isn't
I
enough.
thought it was going to be like before they dropped it. I'm like, I bet you this is going to be like a feature length because there's so much to pack in. And they
So
did it
much.
beautifully. I think
No,
they
they still did
tied
it
everything
perfect.
together really perfect. You could feel the weight of that Boreham Wood game all over again. And if you're one of these fans that aren't watching Wrexham and you're just watching Welcome to Wrexham, then this would have been absolutely perfect for you. Obviously, us being, Wrexham till I die. We were, we were just, we've obviously lived this. We've been through it. We knew what was coming, but the way they just molded everything together,
Yeah.
all the stories, even right down to, what was this?
With Jordan.
Yeah, oh yeah, Jordan Day, yeah, right, and this kid like being born on the same day of the uh
Yeah.
of the parade, like, and seeing the joy on
Oh,
Parky's face, you got to see what it meant to the town. Like the episode opened up with a guy just beside himself, crying, like, oh,
it's me
it's
in probably 20 years.
but yeah, I just think, it started off beautifully. You felt the weight of this promotion chase on the town. Um, geez.
Can I make mention of something that
Yeah.
that didn't feature, and I think it was perfect to not feature it. I think in the earlier episodes they do talk about the international fans. They talk about, America, Canada, Brazil, um, India, Australia, things like that. I'm really glad that that wasn't brought into this, because this is about the town. This is about what they've gone through for 15 long years, not being in the Football League.
Mm.
Not just that, but going through horrid owners, almost going bust. We are Wrexham fans. Don't get us wrong. We are. And that episode means as much to us as it does them as well. But I'm really glad, because I didn't throughout the season, we got a lot of feedback from Wrexham people saying, these episodes are for the Americans. They're for the people who aren't from Wrexham. It's not for us. It's not meant for us. But I felt like this episode was a love letter to Wrexham. They didn't harp on about the owners. The owners had a huge deal. If you think about it, Paul Rudd was fucking there, but they just showed him on camera. They didn't interview him. They didn't make it about him. They didn't make it about Rob and Ryan. They made it about the town, the players, the families, and the people we've seen and grown to love from the show. Seeing Julie sitting there with Anne, having a cup of tea, the day before the game, tearing up, thinking maybe this could be the year we go up. That got me. And it's like, bro, that's like 2 minutes in and I'm already in tears. So yeah, it meant a lot. And I think what we've got from this episode, exactly what you said, bro. It summarized it perfectly and
brought everything
it
together. And we got to see it all unfold. They spent a lot of time. I like how they showed what happened with Notts County just before, and obviously with them having a massive win, and then it came down to us and Boreham Wood, and then they paid a lot of attention. There were a few moments there I'm just like, just stay on the game,
Yeah.
and they cut off to other things, but that is what added the beauty to this episode. And honestly,
it was like the Grimsby game from last season, the way they edited it. Like they do the flashbacks. I love that. I told you how much I love that and I wanted that. I got that and I am satisfied.
But the way they did it here, obviously, like I said, tied everything throughout the season of Welcome to Wrexham, tied it all together in a nice little package and said, here you go. Here's what the town is going through. This is what everyone's going through. It wasn't so much about the because I kind of was like, I want to see the owners, like I want to see the moment where they break down. I want to see Sean Harvey crying because
I want to see that.
Just got a little bit of that.
I kind of wanted to see that. I wanted to see Humphrey because at the end there was those videos of fan footage of Humphrey with the flag around his neck and like tearing up with his wife.
And
I was like,
chant though, like singing.
Yeah, that was nice. And his wife was next to him, which is amazing because she works with the Always Sunny crew. So she's never really around Humphrey and they're married. They're apart for 90% of the year. So could you imagine how much it means to him to have his wife there during one of his biggest moments?
Yeah,
that was a big one too.
Absolutely. I think I just think this episode it was straight perfection. The editing was spot on. The storytelling couldn't get any better. It established the conflict moment of facing Boreham Wood with Notts County right on their heels. It paid great homage to Notts County.
Oh, I was really proud of us for doing that.
So glad about that.
Oh, honestly, like and spoilers if you haven't watched it, maybe turn off now. But that ending where they went, it did the motorcade where they went through the town and only 15,000 were expected to come up, and they said 40,000 showed up. I started bawling again. Then they said Jordan Davies and his little daughter in the crowd, like you mentioned, started bawling again. And I fucking cried when I saw Kedwin Scott get his redemption for Notts County. What kind of Wrexham fan am I that I'm getting emotional over someone else? But it's the editing skills and the music they put behind it to say, and we're not alone going up. And it cut to that. And I just started crying again. I was like, and it was because it was such a ride for both clubs. And you know what it was like. I know what it was like. We lived through that season and it was torment.
If I had any criticism about this episode was probably the Rocky theme.
I would have liked something a bit more emotional.
Oh yeah, maybe something a bit more Welsh traditional
or maybe the orchestral music they used for the show. Like the theme of the show, not even the opening theme song. I'm talking about like the
Look, honestly, I mean, if I'm gonna have any criticism, it'd be why did you use the Rocky theme for that moment?
Billy and Rob, I think
it was. I get it. Rocky is all about the victory. It's all about the fight, the underdog, all that sort of stuff. So, in that sense, it's fitting. But I just think for that very special moment, they could have played something a bit more personal, a bit more connecting with the Welsh people, and because
Yeah.
I mean that's what it's all about at the end of the day. But
But the
um,
Queen song bopped.
only,
That was like,
only,
that was the good shit.
oh, that was the good shit, yeah. But only that criticism, and that actually doesn't even affect my overall rating. So let's
No.
get to our ratings. We know you all want this. Let us know what you thought of this episode down below in the comments, because I'm about to give Rousey's rating for this episode.
I thought you said 4.
No. For this, Rousey's rating for this episode, a solid 10 out of 10.
Amazing.
Not just one Elliot Lee. I'm littering the fucking screen with Elliot Lees. Give me all the Elliot Lees.
I'm just imagining you
Boom,
editing
boom,
this
boom,
with
boom,
all the
boom.
Elliot Lees, and it's just fucking
Oh,
dicks,
my
dicks, dicks.
timeline on the edit is going to be nuts. Every single fucking Elliot Lee. This episode wrapped everything up perfectly, and let's just fucking go. Perfect. Watch this episode. Absolutely. Adrian, over to you, mate.
Be real awkward if I was like, yeah, well, it didn't really impress me much. It was 10 out of 10. Elliot Lee, litter the fucking screens.
Yay!
Exactly that, bro. And look, you surmised it perfectly. That it surmised it perfectly. And I think that that's all I can leave it with, which is if you haven't watched it, please watch it. If you did live through it, it's just emotional. If you didn't witness it at the time, it's emotional once you've watched the series. Definitely, if you haven't watched any episode and this is where you're joining in, wind it back, scrub it back to season 1 and see the heartache, and then you will experience the ecstasy of this win and this game.
Absolutely. And the last episode was definitely what I would call a saving grace. So now we got 10 out of 10s. We got Elliot Lees all over the place. The highest rating episode we probably have given.
Yep. For both of us.
So we got look back at the season that was Welcome to Wrexham. And we're going to give that a rating. So obviously it was a little bit disjointed. There were a few criticisms throughout the season. So what would we give the season as a whole? If you want to know what we thought on every single episode, be sure to go back through. We've got a playlist called Two Beards Reviews. Go through that, watch every episode to find out what we rated each episode individually. But we're going to give the season a whole rating. I'm going to give it a very high 9 out of 10.
That is pretty good. That is
well worth the
IMDb
watch.
shit.
Yeah, the ending saved it. The only criticisms I have, it was very disjointed. It was kind of all over the place leading up to it. But then that last episode tied it all together, made it worth a watch, worth a binge, even. Binge watch it. I'm going to be binge watching it back. But 9 out of 10. Rousey's rating for Welcome to Wrexham Season 2.
Great call.
Adrian?
Mate, I think you're right. There was a point where I was starting to question where it was going. I think when you know the timeline and they start off with things that happen mid-season, you get a bit concerned. That pulled my rating quite back. But the last 4 episodes, I want to say, ran it home, and that's the Welcome to Wrexham I was after. That was the shit that I dreamt of when I saw the season unfold. I'm giving mine an 8.5 to be different out of 10. And I think it's a valid rating because it was perfect, but it can never live up to your expectations that you build up in your head. And I think that's where my rating goes to 8.5. It was still stellar. It's my favorite series I've ever watched, but I'm giving it a critical look. I have to try and not put my Wrexham heart out there. As a critical thinker, I'm going to go with 8.5.
Great. So guys, let us know what you think down below in the comments. Reach out to us on X. We're at 2beardswxm. And yeah, we're interested to know what you thought to the series and to this episode. Let us know. And also let us know if you'd like us to continue these review series and reviewing, I think mainly only football only stuff. So things like Beckham, like um uh Our Game and all these other things that have come out.
Let's do a review of Green Street
Green
Hooligans.
Street Hooligans. Yeah, well, it's a bit old now, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Guys, it
um
just came out.
but yeah, so if you like it, let us know and we'll do more of these review episodes. And we will see you guys next week on the podcast. Let's go up the town. Come on, boys. Bye.